Hello guys, we made it. Ugh. How is everyone? I'm sorry that I had to reschedule a little. Something came in between, but we should have time now. Time enough to cover everything we want to talk about. Saw you on an interview. Just moved from crypto to FX, still collecting data and getting wrecked. Yeah, the classic story, man. Keep grinding, you'll get there. Scalping best tips, damn. I think you can write a book about that question. Armo, what's up? Alright, gonna give it some time so some people can join, some more people can join. We've got 50 people already, which is nice. But gonna give it some time since we've started the stream last minute. I announced I was going live 2 hours earlier, but as I said, something came in between. But we're good to go now. So yeah, waiting 5 more minutes or something. And then we'll get started. Ever tried breakout prop? No, I haven't actually. Not really interested in that, but yeah, it's a good way if you don't have a lot of margin and you feel like you're ready. Go for it, I'd say. Lucifer, did Prime XBT change their margin settings? Yeah, they added futures, crypto futures, with Bitcoin margin and USDT as collateral. That's actually what I was going to show you guys, but I'm gonna wait a couple more minutes. Then we'll talk about it. Love your content. Hey, let's go, bro. Serious question. I trade break and retest on the 5-minute pure price action and intuitive. Is it valid for this market? Man, as long as it makes you money, the rest doesn't really matter, right? Do whatever works for you, even if it's Elliott Waves. Nah, all jokes aside, that you know, whatever works, even if it is Elliott Waves. Good morning, Husky. So we'll talk about Bitcoin. Monthly candle just closed, so a lot to talk about on that side. We'll go over the high time frames again. Last couple streams we haven't really dived into the higher time frame. Well, we did actually. We talked about our spot plans and stuff. They obviously didn't change, but I want to talk about like the monthly candle, the fresh monthly candle of February, and how we can use it to add confluence to low time frame IDs, and yeah, to potentially help us finding good entries on the lower time frames. So we'll get into that in a second. So the volumes are okay. the music volume. Not too loud, not too quiet. And you all can see the Prime XBT page, right? Bitcoin bouncy. Yeah, I don't know, not trusting it, to be honest. We'll need more here for me to get bullish. Bit God candle soon, let's hope, man. We've been waiting for so long. Would be more than welcome, to be honest. But hey, I'm already glad we're back in profit, to be honest. Spent a lot of time underwater, but we added at the lows and now we're in profit, so that's nice. But yeah, obviously we need more. But it's looking good, you're right. Jack Green, what's up, man? Good to see you here. Longs wrecked yesterday into the shorts. Yeah, it was ugly price action. I got stopped on the rest of my shorts as well. I was short from up here. Closed half on this dump, luckily, and then lowered my stops like right around here. Got stopped out on the exact top out of the rest. In total, it was a profitable position, but just sad to see your plan play out afterwards. But yeah, it is what it is. Ugly price action. Better to focus on the 4 hour. Anyways, let's get started. First of all, big thanks to Prime XBT. They're the sponsor of today's live stream. Prime XBT online platform where you can obviously trade not only crypto, you can also trade forex, indices, and some metals, commodities, almost all with a single, all within one account. They recently added crypto futures, right? With Bitcoin as collateral and USDT as collateral. As you can see, very nice UI, very nice layout on the page here. Your trades, market, limit orders, stop orders, looking really good. A lot of assets you can trade here, as you can see. So go check it out. I have a link in the description you can use that gives you up to $7,000 in deposit bonuses, depending on how much you deposit, obviously. If you use my link and you make an account, as I said, $7,000 in deposit bonus, and you get access to my Discord group where I post all of my trades live, post more thoughts on altcoins especially, but also more low time frame Bitcoin thoughts, stuff like that. Also where you can hang out, talk about the markets, ask questions and stuff like that. Okay, so big thanks to Prime XBT once again. Go check them out using the link in the description. Also leave a like on the stream. That helps me a lot, and subscribe to my YouTube if you haven't already. We're at 7k subs. The goal is to get to 10k as soon as possible, so go ahead and subscribe if you haven't already. All right, cool. Now let's get into the charts, right? So where do we start? We were going to talk about the monthly candles. So let me remove some of these levels. This one. I'm gonna remove this and that. So I want to have just a clean high time frame chart. All right, something like this. Don't need that, don't need that. cool. Okay, so the monthly candle, right? First of all, in my opinion, a pretty ugly close, but obviously can be invalidated very quickly, right? What you want to be seeing here on a candle like this, so obviously we swept liquidity, high time frame liquidity around here on this sweep. It's ugly to draw like this. Anyways, took liquidity above that, swept, more importantly, swept last month's high. Okay, so December high, swept that high and closed below, meaning we closed as a swing failure pattern. Okay, initially you would say that's a bearish candle, right? We took liquidity above the high, closed back below. What's gonna be the main draw on liquidity? Well, the opposite side of the range, which would be last month's low, or even the candle before where we swept the highs and didn't sweep the lows. The whole idea about using the monthly candle to sort of give you confluence on the lower time frames and gives you confluence on trade IDs, right, is just to assume that that you're gonna need a wick to the downside and to the upside of the candle. Obviously, nothing is guaranteed in the market, so you still have cases where you don't have a wick to the downside or don't have a wick to the upside on a monthly candle. But if you have candles like that, you even very often see them get taken in the next candle. Okay, as an example, take this candle right here, for example, right? Doesn't have a wick to the downside, right? But we took that low within the next candle, right? We took the low, okay? You're barely gonna see a monthly candle where you're flat and you just do this and go away from it. You're very often gonna see a wick just to take that liquidity below that flat bottom and then go up from there, right? So having that in mind, what do you see straight away on the monthly chart like this? That we have a flat monthly low on this December candle. Okay, so that's straight up gonna be a draw on price, right? Having in mind that we swept previous month's high, that we swept liquidity above these highs and closed back below, right? You can use that as confluence on the lower time frames to target these lows, right? Not only that, you can also use it within the same monthly candle, okay? So as you can see, it's actually already a great example because from the open of the candle, we pretty much straight up dumped and put in the low. Yeah, right now we're trading here, so it's difficult to see, but we put in the low of the candle straight away, right? We dumped straight, so we had pretty much a flat top on the current Bitcoin monthly candle, right? You can use that on the lower time frames, so even on the hourly, you zoom in, right? And you can see it was this candle, so that was the flat. Let me take this one, right? That was the flat monthly top. And as you can see, we created, well, not a big monthly down wick, but we did go down straight away. Then you just know that price is gonna wanna return to that monthly open price to create the higher wick, okay? Now, it's also important to know it's a monthly candle and that you're more than likely gonna have bigger wicks, okay? So the wick like this, the downside wick I like, the upside wick, not that much. So I do think that we're gonna be trading higher, but having in mind that we still have that flat monthly low resting at 37K, right? There's a high chance, in my opinion, that we revisit that area, okay? Now, using these monthly levels, you can already have a nice plan on the lower time frames, right? Using last month's low. Let's actually mark it. We have last month's high, but not last month's low. So let's create one. Last month's high, no, last month's low. And then we'll save this first. And this one we'll call December flat bottom. Right, so that it's clear on the lower time frames. Now zoom in to the daily or even the 12-hour, right? You can immediately see and create a nice plan just based on these levels, right? You know that this here is gonna be resistance, and if you take a look at the levels we already had and the levels we've been watching the last couple weeks, you're gonna see that they line up beautifully, right? These levels down here, these levels up here, this range high, last month's low lining up, right? With the top of this resistance, December flat bottom as well, resting down there. So you can already see that these levels line up beautifully with just pivotal levels on the chart, okay? So now you can create a plan where you say if price trades higher towards this last month's high, you can also, well, that's December high, actually December high. If price trades towards there, okay, into supply here as well, that we had marked, it's this one probably, yep. You see supply, and we see weakness on the lower time frames. That's gonna be a short for me, because at that point I think it's likely that we start trading lower towards that lower liquidity, towards last month's low and that December flat bottom, okay? So that's the idea of using using the monthly. But to be honest, in this case I used the monthly, this December flat bottom, but it works even better just using the same monthly candle. But in this case, yeah, it's sad that we already pumped, because otherwise I would be able to explain it better. But you get the idea, right? You close the candle. If it closes and you straight up dump, there's a high chance that you revisit the open and take that high at least, right? Even there's also a chance that you just reverse that dump and just start trending from the candle there to create the higher wick of the monthly candle. And it's the same way the other way around. If you close the monthly right here and you straight up pump without taking a wick or creating a wick to the downside, right, there's a high chance that you're gonna revisit that wick later on within the same candle, so within this month, to create that lower wick, okay? And that's sort of what we use here. But yeah, as you can see, it's sort of already played out, because we didn't have a wick to the upside and we just created the lower wick. So as you can see now, we're already pumping to create that higher wick. Also, what you can use is just simply the low and the high of the actual monthly candle, just to use as a draw on liquidity. And you're not gonna see, obviously you're not gonna see the sweeps on the monthly because it's within the same candle. But if you zoom in to the lower time frames, you're gonna see that those lows and highs are gonna line up with some key areas. Right now it's the high of the hourly candle, because we're just pumping in there. But as you can see, the low of the monthly are these lows lining up with Monday low. So I'm personally not really trusting this move up. And I think actually there's a high chance that we completely reverse this and go for lower liquidity first. And if not, right, if we pump higher from here, right, and take out that liquidity, I will still be cautious and look for weakness on the lower time frames. Maybe sweep this, right? Break down below again, and then look for shorts with invalidation above range high and look to trade it probably towards these lows in here, and then potentially all the way down here into that December flat bottom. What invalidates all of this, and where do I think we simply start shedding higher? Maybe that's what everyone wants. Well, that probably is what everyone wants, but you know, whenever you get a candle without a big wick to the downside or to the upside, what you want to see is price to just run away from it and just invalidate it quickly. So that in this case, that would just be for Bitcoin to just fill in this entire wick on the monthly. If price is bearish, right, it's not gonna reclaim this, in my opinion. Previous month's high, well, December high. If it's bearish, it needs to reject there. If not, and we start trading above here, right, then I think we fill in this entire wick, close strong, and I think we even continue trending the next couple months. But right now I see that as the least probable scenario. All right, is that clear for everyone? Does that make sense? Everything I just explained? Criminally underfollowed. Where can we follow your 10k 2 challenge? In the Discord, man. Why you took a trade on? I will explain after this. We'll move on to altcoins right now. So again, what are my plans for Bitcoin? Spot plays, right? I think anything below this monthly wick now is a solid buy, okay? This green area in general, if you get that, start buying, okay? Save some in case we go for liquidity below all of this. But if we do this, right, start buying, okay? If we do this, buy some more, and I think you're safe for the next couple months. If we pump from here and you don't get that entry, right, I want to see price action up in around this area. If it's ugly and we start rejecting, I think I'll sell some. But yeah, I'd rather just hold what I have, don't sell, and instead just wait for lower to buy more, okay? That's gonna be my plan, at least. I'd rather look for a short than on margin than selling spot, okay? So that's exactly what I'm going to do. If price dumps in here, I'll be looking for longs as well. If we pump first into range high, I'll be looking for shorts. Is it inverse head and shoulders? I don't really trade inverse head and shoulders. What do you press to select all the object tree? It's shift. You click one and then shift and then click again. Right, moving on. BIT, obviously. Oof. It's been quite a ride with this one so far. We've made some good profit on this. Initially, so yeah, you know my thoughts on this one, right? Swept the lows, initially here, what made the sweep significant, because this on its own doesn't mean anything if we just make a lower high and start dumping again, but what made it significant, the higher low here, right, and then the sweep that got bought up, and then the break in market structure, retest, and now just grinding up, right, looking like it wants to explode into the highs. So that's the whole idea on this trade. So I'm still in longs on this one. I'm currently in 2 longs on the 10K account. One of them is spit. Initially longed way too soon again. It's actually crazy. I longed on this candle. Why? Because of, I felt like if this wanted to sweep this range high, right, into range mean and reject, it should have dumped from this one. So as you can see, it's cleaner, yeah, on the hourly chart. If it wanted to do that, in my opinion, it should have broken down from here, right? Dumped lower from there, because I thought this sweep was gonna be enough. But it didn't. It invalidated the bearish scenario by pumping back to the highs. So I thought, okay, this pump back up again is gonna be significant, and I think we're gonna continue higher. So that's why I long there, get my stops safe below range mean. Okay, that's always what you want to do, because in a continuation range, right, range mean, whenever you okay, you sweep the highs, sweep the lows, back to the highs, whatever you want to see in a continuation range is the retest of range mean that needs to hold, right? And in this case was exactly the same. So I kept my stops, let me see the setup, kept my stops pretty wide below this daily demand, right? Daily sideways price action that led to the pump, and below this daily, no, not this daily, this 4-hour range mean, right there. And as you can see, initially from my entry, we started dumping again, but I knew my invalidation wasn't gonna be dumping. My invalidation was below range mean, below the demand that led to this initial upside. And as you can see, dumped in there, beautiful recovery, and now we're back in profit. Okay, I also added on this candle, it was, I think, not exactly at the bottom, but we added to the position, brought it to 800, I think, dollar risk. If I get stopped, so be it. Even raised my stops right now. I don't want it to go back below here. Okay, if it does this again now, then I'll stay out, because at that point I think we'll do something like this where we fill in all of this. I might even go for this low. So then I'd rather wait for this to create a higher low here and then get back in. Okay, but don't think that's gonna happen. We're about to put in a really nice 4-hour close, and what I hope to see is straight up continuation and acceleration even into the new 4-hour candle. Okay, the target, well, first target probably around here, and then it's this range high and the highs up here. Clear? Leave a like if you're enjoying the stream, guys. 18 likes, 60 people. Let's get them to 30 at least. Gotcha, brother. Let's go. Hello, Iskander. So next one up, this one, I don't even know how to pronounce it. I also don't know whatever it does. What I do know is I like the chart. Okay, let me explain. key low on the higher time frame, right? Daily low that got swept on this move, sideways price action around the sweep, right? That led to upside, clean range being built up, high swept, low swept now, right? Into that key demand that led to the upside. So for me, at least one more run into resistance before potentially lower. So high probability in my eyes that we trade lower from here, trade higher from here to at least go for these highs again before potentially seeing a breakdown lower again. Okay. If you look at the daily, right, clean, beautiful sweep of yesterday low, of these lows, right, into this daily candle demand, this high time frame pivot above the daily open. So as long as we stay above those levels, I think this starts running. First target probably around last yesterday high, and then it's off to these highs. Okay, so that's what I'm currently in. Not too much risk on this one. $500 risk, I think. First target up here, as I said. Yeah, nothing much more to talk about. Thoughts on Matic, still strong. I'll take a look in a second. Thoughts on Yup will do as well. Seen a few people talking about Xen recently. You take a look. Yeah, I will. Great call on the short for Bitcoin. I didn't get stopped because I put a little bit higher, closed at profit. Nice, well done, man. What about Link? Yeah, I was watching Link actually. I was watching 3 coins, Link, Render, and Ape. And they all pumped, obviously, because I wasn't in. Ape, I was watching from this morning. I think from here it was, from this consolidation. Because it had that continuation range pattern, right? Upside, and then a low, a high, a low sweep. And then, you know, when it's like ranging and bonking against this resistance, what you often get is that pump. I was like, not fully convinced. And then it broke out, as you can see. Anyways, what was I going to... Link here. Oof. Yeah, the thing is with Link, I've been baited into longing so much that I don't trust it anymore. You know, for me it's quite simple. We have this reaccumulation range where we swept the lows, swept the highs. Well, swept the highs, swept the lows. What confirms that we're gonna break out, in my opinion, a weekly close above range high. If we get that, a weekly close above here, right, I'll be looking to buy the retest and sell the highs. At that point, hopefully, we haven't swept these highs, so the draw is still mainly to the upside, and that's when I'll get in. But longing right here is longing into resistance. I feel like we just swept the highs into, as you can see, range high, so wouldn't FOMO in up here. I even would take some profit in if you're in longs. I mean, look at what Link did in this range, right? It's crazy how it can just pump to the highs, get everyone excited, back to the lows, and do that for way longer than you might think. Yeah, this Yup chart, I don't know, man. I got someone asking about it in the Discord, and I said I would just sit out on this one for now at least, until you have some more price action to work with. This is the 15-minute chart. This is all you have right now. I wouldn't bother trying to trade this, right? It's like a new shiny thing. Everyone's talking about it, so everyone wants to trade it. But why would you if you're not sure? There's better options out there, in my opinion. So yeah, on the 4, I'd at least wait for some daily candles so you have a nice 4-hour chart with some clean lows and highs and take it from there. I've got no clue what it's gonna do right now. Any tips for trading shitcoins, new shiny ones? Well, exactly what I just said. Wait for some price action. What I usually wait for is for a key low to be made and then some upside, and then for that low to get swept, right? And for a break in market structure, and that's when you want to long back towards highs. Oops. Similar on PIT, right? It's a good example. Was a newer shiny coin. We started dumping, made a low, swept the low aggressively on this candle, not so aggressive on this one. And on top of that, right, what do I mean with breaking market structure? The area we started dumping from never got reclaimed on this one, right? Let's remove. Oof, it's pumping, you see? You could ask yourself, why was this sweep significant and not this one? Okay, well, because where did this dump start? Ah, come on. This was the area this dump started, right? Retested as a resistance and just sold off again. Where did this dump start? This area, right? Initially, you could still say retested and a chance that we were going to nuke again, but that got invalidated on this pump, and that's where I got bullish. I said sweeps are for longing. Failed to long this one because it was over the weekend, but what even confirmed it more? Well, this rally. And then you knew the area that it failed to hold. I've explained this a million times, right? The area it failed to hold on the upside, it retested on the downside and held as support. Why people who were accumulating shorts in this area, right, on the dump, wanted to defend the area on the first step, but they failed, and whenever it retests that area, those people will want to get out. That's the idea behind it, at least. Will want to get out of short positions, which results in buying pressure. So that's what you want to wait for with newer shiny coins. Let's take a look at Matic. Oof, I like this. Yeah, I like Matic. We've had in a previous stream exactly this plan that played out to the T. You know, this key level, we set these equal lows, we want them to get swept, and then on the reclaim we might look for longs. And that's exactly what happened. This daily is looking clean as well. Yeah, I could see this run all the way back up to range highs. But where would I feel safe with my stops? I could see another run a little bit lower if Bitcoin decides to do so. So I'd probably keep my stop there. Something like this, and then target there. Yeah, I like this. See, just a simple range play. Are you a full-time trader? Yes, sir. Yeah, it's looking quite strong, Bitcoin. But hey, don't get shaken out, you know. It's still in a range and nothing to get excited about. Get excited whenever we reclaim this red area. Once we're above there, then I think 60k. Well, 55, let's say. 52, let's say. But until then, it's just within this range. One liquidity point to another. Let's see what are the top performers of see render. See this one, I had a plan on this one. Let's get the chart. This was the plan. Posted in the Discord, by the way. On the FTX refund pump. Oof, nice. So this one I posted yesterday, and as you can see, tapped beautifully into that 4-hour demand render, and now running higher. But yeah, I'm not the risk reward up here. Second biggest gainer actually Pit, which is nice. That one we are in. Let's see what it does here. And then we have Mina. It's something I do every morning almost. I check which are the biggest gainers and which are strong, you know. And very often those are the ones you want to long before they put in a bigger candle. Tia, yeah. Like this one as well. But yeah, at the same time I definitely could see a lot of alts take one more dip together with Bitcoin. Right? If Bitcoin does even if it's just this, right? I don't like how we front run these lows. But hey, doesn't have to sweep them. So any more questions? Any more requests? Feel free to ask anything. For anyhow, no one is talking about the S&P anymore, right? Remember when it was trading in this range down here? Everyone was comparing Bitcoin on the 1 fucking minute chart to the S&P, saying the S&P is nuking, Bitcoin is gonna nuke as well. And now they're all gone. Oh yeah, Xem. What charts is the best? BitKit? Crypto Twitter talk about Link again, sir. Yeah, I know, man. Hey, happy for them if it breaks out, but yeah, I'm not rushing in here at least. Once again, if you rush in here, where do you put your stops? At least on margin. On spot it makes more sense, but still. Did you play around with indicators at some point in your career? Oh yeah, for sure, man. I think I've tried somewhat every indicator that's out there. But yeah, I always came back to pure price action. And Litecoin still trading in this. Oh man. Litecoin is such a disappointment. BitGet for Xen. For real? Damn. What do you want me to say about this? Nah, stay out, man. As I said, looks dead. Yeah, exactly. So why are you looking at it? Nothing to see here, man. Focus on other stuff. Sponge. What's that? Just saw a few tweets and didn't get why. Yeah, I don't know, man. Maybe... yeah, I don't know. See, that's what I like. Charts like this. Listed. Let's see. Just looking for the one with more data. Yeah, I guess we'll take this one. Sort of listed, made lows, bumped initially back to the lows, now swept lows. Boom. Yeah, it's not that clear, but I still like that we swept the lows in demand. Where did we start dumping from? This area. So definitely wouldn't rush in here, but if we do something like this, right, and then range a bit, look for sweeps into that area and target the highs. That would be a nice trade there and there. What about Sui and Sei? Yeah, let's do Sei first. Sei, someone reminded me on Twitter. I posted about this when it was at range lows. I tweeted something. I think I didn't say anything. I just posted a chart with a cross at range mean, and actually it went straight for, well, straight. It went right to that range mean level and then got rejected hard. But yeah, going forward, I don't really like this one, actually, because of the big rejection at range mean. Saw a lot of upside, but to me it doesn't look that good anymore. I would be interested in longs again if it goes above range mean, closes strong, ideally above here, and then sees a retest. Right there I would be interested, but for now this looks like a lower high that leads to, yeah, I might even say back towards here, this blue area. I think the hype with this one is over. Well, it's just a guess, but if you're asking me on the chart purely, would you long this here? Nah, not really. I would wait for this, and then there. Otherwise, if it breaks down, we'll probably go fast. Do you use your range also for scalping? Yes. Xai, yeah, that's another example of such a coin, newer one. Let's see how it looks like, what it looks like. Yeah, see, I would... Yeah, difficult. Sitting at, whoops, at daily demand. So probably sees a little bounce here, but I think we get sold into that and ultimately go for these lows. And that's where I wanna look for longs into this. You know, the origin of all of this upside, right? That would be the bigger sweep, not into this demand. This only led to this pump. This led to all of this. So let it retest some highs, maybe even sweep the highs, right? Maybe even do this, and then it would be a really clean range play. Well, especially if it doesn't sweep the highs. Why? Because if it doesn't, right, and it just retests this supply, then comes for the lows, sweeps the lows, reclaims them, you have a cleaner draw on liquidity on this, this, and this, because they're all unswept. While if we do this, right, back to the lows, there's a higher chance that we just retest range mean from there and then sell off again. I'm a little bit in FOMO on the low time frame 15 minute. Bitcoin looks promising. I'm full USDT right now. That's it. The difference between trading and buying spot, you know. Like if you don't have any Bitcoin right now, yeah, you could buy some, but definitely save some to buy lower if it comes, I would say. But for trades, I would definitely not rush in here. It's just low time frame noise in a bigger range. I wouldn't be surprised if we fully retrace this move and do this. Sushi. Let's see. That range. For spot, nothing on until this blue box probably, and sweep these lows. What an ugly chart. What's this? Yeah, it's like compressing with lower lows and higher lows. You see? There, there, and there, and then you have there, there, and there. So yeah, no clue, man. I'd wait for either side to get swept before doing anything. Maybe a sweep of the highs into supply here. Right, sideways price action that led to the origin of the move that led to all the downside. Sweep in there, reject, short, target all of these lows. If we nuke first, boom, sweep all of that liquidity, look to long, back towards all of these highs. Right here, it's pretty much trading in the middle of nowhere. I don't like Bitcoin, I'm gonna be honest. See, what would confirm now the downside? I might short a bit. I'm actually gonna do so, I think. I'm short a bit. See, I think this is just a sweep of these before continuation lower. I think there's so much liquidity resting here. I think those lows are next. Inefficiency down here into this bigger demand is next, I think. See, and what you can use the also close this other trade. I'm out of this one as well. I'm just gonna post in Discord. So what was I saying? Looks like a breakout now on Link. Yeah, possible. Yeah. Well, nah, not at all. I mean, with a breakout, I would mean trading towards 19, you know. Close there. This can still be a sweep into resistance. Needs to at least trade above here, you know. Anyways, Bitcoin. So you see, now that we've taken that that monthly high, so let's mark out the open price on the monthly, right? Monthly open. What was the idea? We straight up dumped from the open, so we were targeting the high, well, the monthly open, to create a higher wick, right? We just pumped above that monthly open to create that wick, took liquidity above some highs here as well, and using context, what else do we have, right? We have our Monday range with the highs swept, Monday highs swept, highs here swept as well, right? Harsh rejection, clean dump from the highs, okay? With Monday low unswept, clean lows resting below, and inefficiency down here into untapped demand, right? All of that together for me is a great short setup, to be honest. Short, invalidation, keep it above Monday high and target down there. So this is a trade I'm in at the moment. And yes, I might be wrong, but yeah, I'm also in pit long, so even if we break higher, could also see another retest of Monday high here, so just do this, which is why I kept my stop up there. I don't like trading with stops right above wicks, you know, because especially on Bitcoin, what you often get is you make a wick, right, and then it consolidates, wicks once more and then breaks down, or even consolidates more, wicks another time and then breaks down. So yeah. So you long Bitcoin. Man, serious? Well, I hope you're well. Very rarely get to tune in live, but really enjoy the recordings. Thanks for the incredible value. Hey, happy to hear, man. And welcome to the stream. Let's go to let's go to range low. Need to get more time for accumulation. Yeah, let's do that. So yeah, what would confirm, in my opinion, that this was the sweep, right? Well, a break below the monthly open, a break below this higher time frame range mean, which is also pivotal, you know. As you can see here, here, break below, retest, and then sell off aggressively. Right, any more questions? Kijun Weekly. Yeah, the cloud is something I also sometimes look at, but only on the higher time frames. Where is it? Only use that on the daily and the weekly. Beautiful edge to edge here, right? I tweeted about that when we were trading here. Close the weekly inside and the target will be 42 and played out beautifully. Bearish TK cross as well. What's the risk for the short? I think like 900. Yeah, 900. Since it's with a wide stop, you know, so four-hour close in 8 minutes. Let's see. If we close up here, right, the 4-hour, that would be pretty strong. So at that point, I would say we at least go for the 4-hour high again. What you want to see then is, so for example, close the 4-hour here, straight up, sweep the 4-hour in there, and then see a nuke. Unless we start dumping now, then I might just see a small wick to the upside and then nuke to the downside. But it makes sense, in my opinion, to be cautious here and to have some short exposure. I missed the beginning, but if we close above mid-range in the 4-hour, isn't it bullish? Yeah, you could say so. But I mean, that's a daily range mean, right? and it can mean a lot on the 4 hour, but at the same time, you know, it has some ugly price action as well. So it's not only that counts, you know. Liquidity is gonna play a bigger role in my opinion than simply a close above a level. Do you mind showing your setups for the clouds? It's these. That's the crypto settings. I don't have a paid service, no. I do have a group. If you use my links, link in the description, you get free access, but you have to use the link and make a deposit. Bit up and Bitcoin down, that would be beautiful. You'll see, not that pretty, right? Yeah, dump it to Monday low. Would only be healthy in my opinion. If we move higher from here, it just means more liquidity lower for later. So at that point, I think the chances of us doing this and then smashing back down and maybe even going a lot lower are higher than if we just go for them right now. Then I'd see this and then we maybe bounce from here. So it's not a bad thing. See, a 4 hour close is not looking that pretty anymore. Let's see how the 4 hour closes. What most coin do you trade in? Mostly Bitcoin. I'm flat on margins, so just waiting for now. It's too tricky for my level right now. Yeah, fair play, man. If you have 5 minutes, ordi. See, what stands out immediately to me is this flat or just barely a wick to the downside on the weekly, and this weekly candle, where did we pump into? Key resistance, right? Resistance here, smashed above, initially support, bounced, smashed below, retest as a resistance. So just with these two levels, I can already make a plan for this to trade towards down here. And then when I see this, yeah, it even confirms with all of these lows down here. What invalidates it? If we smash back above here, boom, then we can talk about the highs. But for now, this just looks like a bearish retest, and I would at least wait for price to create a wick on the weekly, and then if it looks strong, right, then you could take a long. But right here, nah. Let's see, 2 more minutes. You might showing your settings for the Ichimoku cloud. I just did. Here you go, 20, 60, 120, 30. George explains you easily in 1 minute, but it seems so evident now. Hey, no worries, man. 1 more minute. So if you're in a short like I am right now, what you want to see, you see this 4 hour, when we were up here I said wick the high, but if we close below the monthly open, I think is just gonna be ideally pump from the open, create a wick, and then get a sell-off. We'll see live, you know. The close is probably gonna straight up get some market orders. Nope. See, so straight down from the open, likely we get back to the highs. Well, get back to the open. Okay, trade a bit higher now, ideally. Let's take the 4 hour. You see, barely any wicks now, right? So whatever side it decides to go now is likely a good fade. See, so upside, as we said. And then start rejecting, in my opinion. Maybe a bit higher would be good. Yeah, and now sell off. Or back towards these, also possible. But I don't think we get that high even. See? Now sell off again. Ideally. Ideal scenario, you know. And I'm biased because I'm short, but it's also... It's just to give you like the idea behind using the closes of candles and using them live. They can also add confluence to your ID. Even not looking at them, and if you have a long ID, right, it gives you confluence. But yeah, I don't even think we get above the monthly open. Should watch more other high time frame. I miss Bitcoin short, any chance of getting in now? Hey, do whatever you want, man. If you think it's worth it. With your experience, how effective is it to quote Monday low and high for daily trades? Very effective. I really like the Monday range. But it's just like all the other things you use. You've got to use it in Confluence. A Monday range on its own, blindly shorting Monday high sweep and blindly longing Monday low sweep, ain't gonna do it. We've got to use other things and see the context. You think we will break all-time high at Bitcoin in 2024? No idea. I do think we will break all-time highs sometime, but if it's gonna be this year, I don't know, and I don't care. You know, you shouldn't care. Why does it matter if we do it now, or like it shouldn't? Because all markets are closed, so it's public market, not pros. It's supposed to make us know what the general deviation. English is not really. Nah, you're talking clear. But yeah, I as I said, use the Monday range a lot. See, rejecting now. Now ideally sell off. All right. See that monthly open deviation? Do you take trades on multiple time frames simultaneously often? No, not really. Mostly if I trade higher time frames, I use spot. So yeah, spot and margin I do, but not on margin, both high time frame and low time frame. Right, but I'm gonna hop off. Been an hour and a half almost. I hope you liked the live stream. If you did, make sure to subscribe, make sure to like. If you want to join my Discord, use the link in the description. Big thanks, by the way, to PrimeXBT for sponsoring. We will stream again next Tuesday and Thursday, so 2 times next week as well, just like this week. So I hope to see you guys there, and otherwise talk to you guys on Twitter or on Discord or wherever, and see you in the next one. Bye.